Hello, good afternoon. I'm back at Bungsam Ran. Just come down for a few hours after work. It's 5:30 now. Probably fish until about 10, 11, maybe midnight if I catch a few fish. I'm on my own. It's a really quiet day. There's probably only about 20 anglers on the lake, but because it's a quiet day, I've managed to get right at the top end of the lake, and I'm fishing in this bay area right next to the hyacinths on the bottom. Small hook, particle bait, John Nicholson particle bait. Let's see if I can get something interesting. So here's the John Nicholson particle mix, bird seed, boiled up and left to soak. Well, left to soak for almost 24 hours and then boiled up. Can of sweet corn thrown in for good measure, a little bit of chili powder, absolute load of sea salt, rock salt went in there. Some of it didn't dissolve, but as you can see, it's taking care of the PVA. A sausage of a PVA bag there I'm using. Yeah, I just got the PVA bag, same as I think everybody uses in Thailand, just the stuff you order off Lazada. Right, I've been here 3 hours now and I've only had one bite. I did about an hour and a half on a boilie. The rest of the time I've been on fake corn, and now I've just changed it up to bread on the hair. I'm fishing right next to the hyacinths over here. It's really difficult to do this type of fishing. I mean, I could be fishing all night for just maybe 1-2 fish. And the Thais right next to me are pulling in mekongs every 5 minutes, but I don't want a mekong, I want something different, so just got to persevere. Come on.
Huh? Are you going to get the scales on it or you're not going to bother?
Yeah, I'll get the scales on it.
About £9, right? £8, £9? Yeah, it's probably 9. How much is the net weigh?
I don't know how to do it afterwards.
2.8.
Okay, scales are in pounds, a 0. We're going to have to take the net off, right at the head of the net.
$11.35.
0.35.
So I reckon you've got.
I reckon the net's a couple of pounds,
I
maybe
reckon you've
more.
got a £9 fish.
£9 mad barb. It was worth waiting for.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait. It might be £10. I don't know. I said £9, didn't I? See, I'll get the video. You can have another go now.
Yeah.
Huh?
It just got.
That's exactly what he was catching. That's quite a small one, actually.
Well, thanks, Dad. Thanks.
No, but it don't care. It don't matter whether it's £9 or £15. It's a great fish. Yeah. I think it's £9, but we'd have to...
3 hours waiting for that. Boilie didn't work. Fake corn didn't work. Bit of bread.
11.35, and we don't know what the net weighs. So I think you got a £9 personally. What do you reckon?
I like how chilled out he is. Good morning. I'm back at Bungsam Ran. I fished here the other night for about 4 hours, right at the top end of the pier there, into the bay area, and I had a mad barb. I got a rohu, but unfortunately it broke the line. It wrapped me around a post, and I got a little sway. But I've still got some of the John Nicholson bird seed left, so I thought I'd come back down and give it another go in the corner. The top end of the pier is full today, so I'm going to this corner. I'm going to be close to this aerator. It's still shallow water. I boiled up the bird seed, put some salt in it, but I'm not going to be using the PVA bag again because I've run out of PVA bags. I used them all up the other night. So my plan is, well, let me show you. So this is the plan. This is the John Nicholson bird seed I let soak and boil up. I've added into that some salt and some chili powder, basically the same as I did the other night, but I'm not using the PVA bag. I'm going to add in a load of sweet corn, and I'm going to use the ram, hopefully as a binder, as a bit of a glue to stick it all together and create a bit of a paste that I can use on a flatbed method feeder, so I can fish in this corner. I put all the bird seed in, I put a load of the sweet corn in as well, drained it all off, but just the moisture in the sweet corn and the bird seed with that bag of ram, it's a bit too stodgy for my liking. I want it to be a touch lighter than that, so it breaks up a bit easier. This kind of feels a bit like clay. So I went back to the office to get another bag of ram to mix in some more dry ram and just dry it out a little bit, and they've run out. So I'm having to put bread in. I was trying to avoid putting bread in the mix because bread to a striped catfish is like a curry to a pisshead. They just can't resist it, and if I can avoid the sway today, that'd be a good thing. But hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to mix in some bread to dry this out a little bit more. So I decided not to go with the flatbed method feeder just because I've now got that much mix. I want to use it up, so I'm going to use a big round feeder that I normally use, but I have gone smaller on the hook. I'm using a size 12 hook, which for me is a couple of sizes below what I ordinarily use at Bung Samran. So I've got the Shimano 12,000D 80-pound mainline, FG knot onto, I think it's 100-pound mono, just because it's the only decent mono I've got. You definitely need mono when you're fishing so close to the posts. The other day when that Rohu broke me off, the mono was really rubbed up, but it still broke me off because the hook link was braid. But at least you stand a good chance with mono. If you've got braid on those concrete posts, you don't stand a chance. Anyway, mono coming down to the feeder. It's weighted, but it's just because it's the only one I've got. Hook link, I'm going to do a few bits of bread punch and a fake bit of sweet corn. So the bread punch from the syringe, and the other day was exactly the same rig, but I didn't have a feeder on because I was using the PVA bags. So I just had one of those quick release drop link things that John Nicholson uses. I've forgotten what they're called, but yeah, you know, when he picks it up and it shakes it, the lead falls off. And I was just putting the PVA bag directly onto the hook, but today no PVA bag, so I'm using the feeder. Put it in pounds. Whew. 18.6 pounds. 18.6 pounds with the net. That's a fat ESOC. There you go. Well worth it. What I wanted. Rohu, Yisok Thai. I say Yisok Thai, Yisok Tamadaha. Rohu, beautiful. 18 pounds something with the net. Let's find out how much the net weighs. The head of the net is 2.8 pounds. One of the more common ways you'll find people securing their rods at Bung Samran is to just lie it on the deck, and then they use one of the grooves in the wooden planks here to drop a steel pin through. It's got a bit of braid and a float on it. The float serves two purposes. The first being if it drops into the water it doesn't sink, and the second being when I want to take this pin out, rather than trying to grab the pin in a rush, I just grab the float and hook it up. Lie it on the deck and then pin it just in front of the reel seat, like so, and that's really strong. That's not going anywhere. If I get a good fish on, I can even Danny likes to sometimes pin it to the deck like this and leave the drag reasonably tight so it sets the hook itself, because he's got so much confidence in these pegs. For bite alarms, just take a bit of line off to the side with a bottle. When the fish runs, the line goes tight, bottle drops over. It's got some beads in it, some stainless steel ball bearings just to make a bit of a rattle noise. But I've come up with another way which works really good for fishing at an angle. This only really works good for fishing straight out. If you want to fish at an angle like I'm doing today, I've come up with another rig, another way to secure it, and that includes a bite alarm. I'll show you that. Okay, these are the brackets I've had made up for fishing. I initially did it just for fishing at night, so I had a bite alarm, so hopefully wake me up, but I like it so much I use it during the day now. It's two parts. The front part, I've got a rod rest and a bite alarm on it, and these steel bars to stop Danny kicking the hell out of it at night when he's drunk. And then the back bit is just a V fork to support the rod, and that also secures the rod. And these are secured through the gap in the decking with a T-bar. Push that through, turn it so it's opposite to the groove, and lock it down with the wing nut. I'll set that up now and show you it when it's set up. Okay, so I've got it set up now. You can see that this back bracket is pinned through the gap in the wood, and then that fork on the arm sits in front of the reel seat, which stops it going forwards. And all I need to do is pick the rod up to release it. But when I get the run, it's not going to move forwards. And then here, this is also secured to the deck, so it's helping the rod stay stay where it should do. Pinned to the deck just here. I've got the rod rest, the rod lies on its side, and in the line, I don't know if you can see this, it's coming from the side, but it goes up and over the bite alarm a little bit, so should I get a run, the line's enough to pull on the wheel and set the bite alarm off. It doesn't do drop back, so I haven't got enough room to put a weight on and keep the line taut, but for most of the situation it works just fine, and it stops the rod going in. And because I've got two and I can pin them through the wood at any angle I want, I can fish to the side like this, where you can't do that with the normal peg. I have to give credit to John Boyd for this. He was doing it the first time I saw it. He was doing something similar to this. I've kind of edited it a little bit and made it hopefully Danny proof. Well, nothing's Danny proof. Rohu, a little bit smaller than the first one, so I'm not going to weigh him, but I've changed the camera angle to try and get a bit of better light on him. I think the first one was quite dark, the light was in the wrong position, but hey, another Rohu, this is good. Whoa. Maybe I can get a Julien's or a Black Shark Minnow. Here's another rod rest. It stands the rod straight up. He's got it on like a G-clamp onto the wooden edge, and then just a tube that he just drops his rod in. I'm not that keen on this type of setup because when the wind blows it catches the line, and sometimes when the line goes slack like this it can get caught around the eye on the rod. But yeah, it works. It stops the rod getting pulled in, that's for sure. Here's one of the Thai style rests, another G-clamp onto the wood, and it comes up. It's got a couple of bits of metal to support the rod. Doesn't really work with a bite alarm, but those reels are their own bite alarm. They're really loud when they go. In fact, that's an Accurate 500N. I used to have that. It's one of the best, but I couldn't use it. Another Rohu. Work getting the weight on him. 16 pounds with the head of the net. I think the net weighs a couple of pounds, so it's 14, something like that. Whee. Okay, that little bugger that. I've waited all day, not a bite, all through the middle of the day. It's about 3:30, 4 p.m. Get another Rohu. It's been through the walls, this one. Big scuff on the side of his head. A few scales missing. This is another way that the Thais put their rods down. They have these foam mats with a couple of grooves cut out of them. They just drop the rod in. Stops the rod being on the deck. It doesn't stop it flying in. Some people will still peg it with a peg, but stops it getting scratched up as easy. So after these 2 sessions I ended up with 3 Rohu, a nice little mad barb, mad carp, and no tilapia. I would have thought I would have got a tilapia fishing with a small hook in the shallow water, but they didn't come out. Thanks for watching, see you soon.